Mm. Okay. Am I? Oh, I am live. Hi! No, I won't forget to invoice you. I have to turn the volume off because Lorianne is still finishing up hers. And I have everything so jury-rigged here. Okay. Sugar Britches is finishing up her sale. She had an awesome book sale. I deliberately ignored it until the very end. And doesn't she have a fabulous book that has bats on the cover? Now I need to go to my channel. So doing that, I don't have the laptop set up yet. So let's get into the live. I've turned the volume down. So for those of you who are coming in, my name is, if you haven't been here before, my name is Nancy. And I have inherited a lot of stuff. I have inherited from 3 different estates. I got all the small stuff. Then I inherited a book collection. So it's all now, 99% of it is now in one house. So, so we never know what I'm going to find. We never know what I'm going to have for a sale. I'm not home right now. So this week's sale is going to be postcards because these were small. I could bring them with me. And I had postcards of my own and of my friends that I needed to get listed on eBay. I did get some of them because I have Mainzer cat postcards of hers to list. And I have I have most of them up on eBay right now, as well as some other little things of hers. But it's I hate ducks. I twisted my knee a bit, so it's been hard to sit up and keep my knee at a right angle like I am here at this table. Actually, I wonder where's the dog. Oh, there we go. I could put my knee up on the rungs of the other chair. So it's been a week. Who's coming in the door here? I figured that if I was going to go live here, I wanted something small. So I have the postcards. So we've got Nora and Linda. Hi. I'm feeling a lot better. That knee is finally healed up enough. I actually was able to soak in a hot tub today. God, not a hot tub, but a tub full of hot water. I hope everything's okay at my house because I'm not there, Nora. Mike said that there was some water that came through, and he said it was pretty bad. But it did not come down to the first floor. There is a problem where there's a flat spot, and they fixed that, but there's a V right here below it because there's a peak for a window there, and it's just this odd, weird little thing. And they did not fix that. They were supposed to clean it out and goop it up, and they didn't. So they so that's still, if it's a heavy enough rain, and it was, because I got it here first and then it moved east. So I get it about 45 minutes before he got it. And I'm just glad that he just got rain, because out here we had some serious wind. And I was really waiting to hear tree limbs snap. There's a row of pine trees up the road here. It goes from this property all the way up the hill through a couple other properties. And I was really expecting to see, limbs from the trees down, but there weren't any. I did find bits of bark from something. I forget what kind of tree that is, but it peels off small little sections, and wherever that tree is, because I don't see it anywhere around the house. But there were pieces of that like all around the yard. The fur babies were okay. I had to stay up till midnight with the big dog because she's a coward. Where is she? I see a tail. She's under the table, and the beagle is behind me. But yeah, the big one, the beagle slept through most of the thunder, did not care, went into her crate and just went to sleep. She did not care. But the big one, she is such a baby. She was not happy with all that thunder. She was also not happy on 4th of July either, but she managed that pretty well. The only thing that was a pain is like I had to go out and chase in a duck that was refusing to go in. So I waited till it was dark and then go out, and she panicked because I left the house for like 5 minutes to get that duck in. So yes, I am babysitting uh 3 horses. I don't know how many ducks. I don't know how many chickens. I am not counting them. 7 cats, of which I think I've seen 7. Some of them are very elusive, and they don't want to come any out when I'm here. Um, and the 2 dogs. There was a turtle. The turtle ran away. They were cleaning its aquarium outside, and it took off in the grass, and they did not find it. But there's a stream on the property, so odds are that sucker went right for the water. So, and it's not like it was a baby. I mean, they've had it for a couple of years, and it was found outside as a baby. But so I am here until Saturday morning. Um, the one pen for the ducks, one of the things of ducks, has gotten so muddy that in the first week here, I slid and whacked myself into the side of their coop and messed up my knee. But it's finally feeling a little better, but I've had to ice it every day. And Michael has been sending me pictures of the fur babies because um, Arwen has now turned into a little cuddle bug because she just can't figure out where I am. Now, she don't cuddle with anybody. It's rare. And he sent me a photo of her. He had come in and he had gone all the way up to Resica, which is the Boy Scout summer camp. Because Hart is Cub Scout summer camp, and that's closer to us. But he went all the way up into the Poconos to Resica to help out for a day. And when he got back, he was so tired, he just kind of like laid across his bed, and she come up and laid next to him and went to sleep. So he sent me a photograph of that. We did FaceTime a phone call, and it very much confused Aragorn. He's looking all over, everywhere but the phone where my voice is coming out of, but he couldn't figure that out. Elrond, however, was further across in the room, and I could see him laying by the air conditioner, and he got up and he comes right over and he's sniffing the phone. And then Gimli came over, looked at the phone, sniffed it, and then walked away. But yeah, Aragorn has a smooth brain. Nothing sticks in that brain. He's looking everywhere but at the phone looking for me. He's going to be the one when I get home who's going to be like white on rice. He is not going to want to leave my side. I have that now with a great big white dog because she's very much uh, she's my friend's husband's dog, but Freya is very protective of my friend. And so if she goes out of the house, the dog's like, well, where is she? Where is she? So they come home to late tomorrow. So and then Mike's picking me up Saturday morning. So I have to get through tomorrow, and then they'll probably be so knackered. I already let her know. Is like, I will get up in the morning and take care of getting chickens and the horses, because they'll probably need to sleep in a little bit. So, fur babies at both places seem to be doing all right. The weather around here has been just changing drastically. No, I haven't tried the dual flavors yet. Um, so Michael said he picked one up, but he didn't tell me if it was any good or what the flavors were or anything. But out here, I mean, I'm not completely in Farm Belt. Though you pass quite a few of them. I mean, there's a couple of them just up the road. I'm closer to the town that this area is in. But brain cramp. Brain cramp. Oh, the weather. I have watched the radar out here, and the weather out here literally can change in an hour, sometimes less. And the humidity, I think that's one problem with my knees. At night, the humidity hits 100%. Now, I thought at one point that I would be slick. It was supposed to be down to, 68 degrees last night. And I thought, that'll be nice. Cool weather. I'll open the window a little bit and make sure the door's shut. And, but I'll open the window. No, it was 100% humidity. When the air is that wet, that humid, it's not easy to breathe. So it's oppressive. So even though it was cooler, it was just like, yeah, no. So what is this purple thing? A crown and number 1. A crown and number 2. Uh-oh, what did I do? I did something to my chat. No! I shouldn't have clicked on the crown. There we go. Top chat. We don't want top chat. We want live chat. There we go. The funny part though is that my friends are in Scotland where, according to Craig Ferguson, where damp is a color. And they've had more sunny days than I've had here. Somehow that's not fair. Somehow that's not fair. I do have to get up with the chickens, so it will be not too long a sale. And it's funny, I mean, this doesn't look like much, but it almost filled my page. So most of them are sorry, typo. Come on. Every chat has those little crowns. They're new. I haven't seen them before, so I guess they did something. So that's a weird thing. That's just another weird thing. So, these are mostly $2 and $3. The ones that are 2 are because there will be usually some little mark or crease that's affecting the front of the card. I do tend to like Scenic postcards. I think when you don't have a lot of space, they are a nice way to just give you a nice little pick-me-up of a view, either on your fridge, on your bulletin board. Please don't put thumbtacks through them. If you put a thumbtack, if you put one here and one here and one here, it holds it like an easel and you won't damage the card. They're great for also propping up on a bookcase. So help decorate your bookcase. They've been doing all sorts of weird stuff like messing with our screen names. Really? Yeah, I haven't. I have a set schedule of stuff I have to do. No lies. This is my schedule for all the stuff with the animals. Um, so I haven't been on watching anybody's sales or anything much, because I also brought scout paperwork to get ready for summer camp, and some library books that I need to finish, and then stuff I needed to get photos done and hopefully get listed. At least got all the photos done, so that's a good thing. Had better light here because there's this nice bank of windows here to my right, and with the blinds up, I get this really nice mid-morning sun until about 3, 4 in the afternoon. And so I get this nice bright light to take photos with, which has been great. So I have a lot of photos in my phone now. So let's get started. Most of these, I don't have every state in the union. But I am going to go basically from East Coast to West Coast, because I know I may have some viewers here tonight that are on the East Coast, and then they usually go to bed before we get to the end of the sale. But I do have quite a variety. I mean, one of the dates was 1909. It was posted and it had a 1909 date. So I know I've got some from the early 1900s. And then I think the latest ones I have are from 1960. Some are linen cards. For those of you that aren't familiar with what a linen postcard is, that's the kind where you can see the little lines on the color side, on the picture side of the postcard. Those little lines are literally linen threads that were added to the card. It was supposed to strengthen the card as well as make it more absorbent for the inks. So the first one we have a couple of different Niagara Falls one. I don't have a Vermont one this time. Actually, I don't know that I have any Vermont cards. Though I have a stack of cards that I got from, where did I get that batch from? I think I got them from Mr. Buys a Lot, one of his online auctions on his YouTube channel. And I still have to go through all of them, because those are mostly all buildings. There's churches, post offices, schools, all kinds of stuff there. And I haven't gotten all of those sorted out yet. This first one is American Falls from Below, Niagara Falls. And it's a nice lithograph color, but it has been posted. Now on the back, it just says Franklin and an address to Miss F. something Steen in Buffalo, New York. And the postmark, though, is 1909. Why he put the stamp on upside down, I don't know. But it was the Pew Manufacturing Company, Toronto. But it's a really nice color. I like the fact that there's a person over here. You rarely ever see these. I've seen them where there's rocks or there's trees. I've never seen one where there's a person in front of the falls, but there is a little person there with an umbrella, which is a pretty rare thing to find. This one is $3. $3, and it's the letter U for umbrella. $3, letter U. And this one doesn't have any creases to it. But I did find it interesting that there was a person, and apparently the ones with people on them with Niagara tend to be more valuable, but it's definitely, it looks like it was a tinted photo. Now the next one is interesting because um apparently this is somebody, it's HHT. I had to look it up. It's HH Taman Company. And they have this odd little logo. Apparently some people collect their cards. But they've got this weird little person, and underneath it says Lucky Buck. So, but this one is the American Falls from below as well. But this one, see, like this one, the first one was further back, so you got more, but that you could see the landscape in front. This one's up closer, and so all that mist kind of looks like it's out of focus. But it's an interesting card. You can see there are two rocks down here. This one is $3 and is letter H. This one has not been posted. But I would say that this is probably a little later in time. Like this one's from 1909, but I could tell from the font, the type of font that they used, that this one and the graphics, this one's probably later. I know that company, I looked it up, and they were making things in the 1910s on up. So I would think this one is probably, I mean, that kind of postcard was 1930s. So that one is letter H and is $3. Now this one is Niagara Falls, Ontario, Canada. But then it says close up of the American Falls with the Horseshoe Falls in the background. So I never knew that I haven't been there, so I never knew there were two separate falls. So you've got the American Falls, but then there's another waterfall way back here that's the Horseshoe. I thought the Horseshoe was Niagara Falls. Athena, are you okay? You all right? Well, okay. She's gonna go to bed. She let out the weirdest little noise. This one has a message on the back, and it has, I could not read the postage date. It was June 17th from St. Catharines, Ontario. It might, I can't tell because it's got the Queen, the very young Queen Elizabeth, as a 4-cent stamp. But it says, the postmark's in the way, something driving through Canada. It is lovely here. The week has gone so fast. Has been a long trip. Love, Elsie. So that's the message. And this one is definitely a cool photo. There's this flash of a blur right there. That's a bird. That one is a bird. And that one is $3. Well, so what do I have? $2. I don't see anything wrong with it. Well, for some reason I have $2 written on that one. So that one is $2 and is letter C. Now I like this one. I just wish the railings weren't in the way. I know my Boy Scouts have gone up here. This is another one where I couldn't tell. The postmark is either 1903, 1923, or 1933 because they clipped the numbers off. But it has a Washington 1 cent stamp on the back, so it was posted. But the front's in good shape, doesn't have any ink marks or anything on it. Having a fun trip. We go through the something tomorrow. Expect to go to Ithaca tomorrow night. Well, I know where that is because Ithaca, you have to drive through Ithaca to get to Barton, the one Boy Scout camp we love so much. But this is the Cavern Tunnel, Watkins Glen, New York, and that is a waterfall, and you can see the railing there. You can walk right past that. Watkins Glen is somewhere that our scouts have actually gone to on trips in the past. So this one is $2 because it's one thing to have writing on it. It's another to have some kind of dirt smudge. That's no fun. So this one is $2 and is W for the Watkins Glen card. I used to have a whole bunch of waterfall postcards. I love waterfalls. And it was funny because I had it when I was in college. And you know those little they use them in photo albums, the little corners that you used to have the sticky back and you stuck it in, and the corners of the corners of the photo would stick into those, and that's how you held it in place. So I had a piece of poster board and I had all these waterfall postcards on that because it in college dorm rooms it's very hard to stick things to the walls. You can't put a nail in anything. Most of the dorms are cinder block walls, at least they were in the 80s. And so that was a challenge. And so I had them hanging there for the whole first year I was in the dorms. So it was a nice pick me up when you're stuck in a cinder block room. It was really nice to have something that was outside and beautiful. Now this one is I kept all the waterfalls together, so we're gonna bounce over to Idaho now. Color photo by Bill MP. EMPIE. This is Thousand Springs, Idaho, on US 30 near Buhl, Buhl, Idaho. These springs are believed to be the outlet of the Lost River. I have no idea what that means, but it's very pretty. And it's got the orange color to the trees because it looks like it's fall when this is taken. This is one from the 1960s. There's somebody in a boat right there. But this one is in excellent condition, has not been used. Really nice fall colors of Thousand Springs, Idaho. Duh. Brain cramp. So this one is $3 and it's letter I for this one. Did it? Oh, what did I do? What did I touch? Oh, there it goes. For a second there, I thought when I tried to turn the alarm off, I thought I turned off the streaming. That's not good. That's usually then I have to take the dog out, but I made a point of getting her out like right before ouch. I haven't had my shots in my spine and my leg is cramping up. That's not supposed to happen. But I made sure to get her out, get both of them out right before we started the live. But this next one is a linen card, and the linen cards are always a lithograph. But this is Great Falls in Yellowstone. And it's a picture from below, 308 feet. Now, I used to know the dates for linen cards. Linen cards usually were very popular in the 1930s. That was their big heyday up into the war. Then it got harder to get linen paper. But they did it because it really does keep the colors. And it doesn't have, like modern ones, there's that glare. You can see it reflecting things. You don't get that with a linen card because it's got all these fine little threads and lines. You can, when you see them up close, you can actually see the thin weave. This one does not have anything on the back. This one has a little boo-boo right there. There's some odd little line. And it's almost like the coloring didn't go on right. So I'm not sure if it's a manufacturer's flaw, but I had this one on my bookcase for a while, and I've decided to pass it on. This one is $2 and is the letter F for the Great Falls of Yellowstone. Now let's go to the Atlantic Ocean. Have some linen cards from there. So if you really like the beach, these are fun ones to have around. This is swells about to break on the ocean. And this was posted in 1948, August 27th, posted in Ocean City, New Jersey. Hello, all you guys, gals, and Ma. Well, what do you expect? I'm on vacation. But it is a linen card. It is a lithograph. And the waves are just starting to break. You know, it is the Atlantic. So if you're looking for waves big enough to surf on, you're not finding them in New Jersey. But it is a really nice linen card. Now, I don't know if you guys can see it. See these little black lines? Sometimes they would, I don't know why. Sometimes you will find old postcards where there's some weird little thing of a postmark on the front. So it's noticeable, but not. I mean, the other thing too is you could use this in a mixed media thing. That is a pretty cool image. That could make an interesting background. But this card is the Swells of the Ocean from New Jersey. And because it's got those funny little lines, this one is just $2 and is the letter O. Now, I have another one from Long Beach Island. All I can think of when I see the front of this one is in Finding Nemo. I gotta put my leg up. There's a scene with the seagulls, and they all keep going, mine, 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 mine. This image just reminds me of all them. It's gulls feeding on the beach, Long Beach Island, New Jersey. Look at them all. Now, mind you, the sunset behind them is gorgeous. But this could be Alfred Hitchcock's The Birds. This is crazy. I've never seen that many at the beach before. That's just, you could put this one out for Halloween next to a thing for Hitchcock's The Birds. But this one was posted July 17th. And it's a 1-cent stamp, so it should be kind of early, but I couldn't get that date on there. So nice. Oh, so nice and cool down here, just heavenly. Trudy Lee would spend the whole day in the water and on the beach. She's as brown as can be. Love, Pearl. So it has a nice little comment on the back. At the front, I mean, it does scream summer, but I've never seen so many seagulls on a beach before. Maybe back in the day they did, but not so much now. But it is a really pretty one. It is $3. It is letter G. G for gull. Now, this is one of the few that I have that has a man-made structure on it. This is I don't think this is here anymore in Wildwood Crest. In New Jersey, there's Wildwood Crest, and I think there's a Wildwood Point. It's been a long time since I've been there. After all, I did go to five senior weeks. I went to 5 different senior weeks at Wildwood back in the day. That was a bit of an accomplishment. But it is the Crest Fishing Pier, Wildwood Crest, New Jersey. And having fun, wish you were here, Debbie. The postmark says 1957, but it is a linen card. It is a lithographed linen card, and you can see the people way down there. And when you look at the clothing the people are in, that length of skirt on those women, think the card itself is probably from the late 30s, because the length on those skirts is definitely not the shorter length of late 1940s or even in the 50s. But it is a nice, pretty one. And this one is somewhere on my list. Where is it? 1957 is the postage mark. Crest Fishing Pier. It's $3, letter Z. Now this one, it was never posted. It has a 1-cent stamp on the back. Now, I wanted to try to find out. This was, sorry guys. Oh, I can't wait till Monday. Monday I get a shot in my knee, and hopefully I can get trigger point shots later in the week for the back too. But this was printed by the Sithens Postcard Company, Atlantic City, New Jersey. Now, it's got some faint creases, and I don't think you'll be able to see them, because oddly enough, only one crease shows up in the back. But there's a crease here. There's another faint one here. But the clothing on the women for the picture is very much, I mean, whoever the little boy is, he's in shorts with a cap on his head. The women's clothing very much looks like pre-1900. So the artwork is at least that. But that is such a nice view. Well, that sky is wonderful. And you fell asleep? That's all right. That's all right. Oh, sorry about that. Did that wake you up? The power cord is like over here. I bumped it with my hand, so it knocked the phone down. I have like a pile of books and the laptop on top of the photo album that holds some of the postcards. But let's see, you wanted letter O, right? Move that cord out of the way. That was the one of the ocean swells. Let's back up and get that one out of the pile. There we go. There we go, Linda. Got it set aside for you. So this one, and like I said, when you look at it, you can see some thin little lines here, and you can see part of a thin line here. It's only when I tilt it in the light that I can catch where the other faint partial creases are. But that is another one that is a great image. Sailing near the inlet is all it says on the front. So I know it was printed in Atlantic City, New Jersey, so I'm assuming it's a New Jersey spot. So this one is $2 and is letter B. $2, letter B. Oh, that's because I'm not at my house, CDC. I'm at the mini farm. This is not my house. And you want B, okay? Now, this one, I cannot figure out what they did with this one. So, published by W.H. Bechtel of Asbury Park, New Jersey. Place stamp here, 1 cent for United States and island possessions. Cuba, Canada, and Mexico, 2 cents for foreign. I've never seen all that before. But I can't figure out. I mean, it looks like they took a photograph, but then tweaked it. Now it says it's card number 553, but then they must have this on the print or the negative. They have another number in the corner of the image, and it says after the storm, Asbury Park, New Jersey. And it's quite striking. Quite an image there. So I guess it's meant, but you could tell where they've kind of highlighted some of the coloring. So I guess it's supposed to be the last of the sunlight of the day coming through. So after the storm is $3. This is letter J. $3, letter J. Yes, CDC, I'm still at the mini farm taking care of the horses. And then that one horse, man, I thought she was going to run me over. There's nothing that will intimidate you faster than having a full-size stallion and mare come flying across the field at you in the morning because they happen to be hungry and you have the food. It's like, and I put my hands up and I'm going, whoa, 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 stop. And to their credit, they both did. Because I really thought I was about to get run over. Not so much by the stallion, because I've taken care of him before, but the mare doesn't really know me. And the pony don't care. The pony don't care about anybody. That little pony's just doing its own thing. Now, this one is another linen card. It has been posted. Has a different stamp. Oh, wait, whoa, that's a cool stamp. I should have looked up the stamp. So the stamp has the Statue of Liberty, but get this, United States of America, industry, agriculture, for defense, 1 cent. I've never seen a stamp like that. Now, I cannot tell because it's right over top of some writing, but I suspect that that's a 4 and a 2 from Rehoboth Beach, which is in Delaware. So I think this was mailed in 1942, which would explain the stamp because you're in the middle of the war at that point. Dear Dottie, hope I spelled your name right, Miss English student. My poison ivy's practically gone and I'm relaxing, also swimming and sailing and sleeping. Do write to me and tell me about the ping pong you don't play, or do you? I have no idea. I got nothing for why that's written like that. So you have this interesting cryptic message on the back, but the front is moonlight sailing on Rehoboth Bay, Rehoboth Beach, Delaware. And they're all like two-person little sailboats. It's a really, really pretty image being on the water like that. Now, I made this one $2, even though I found other ones of it that go more. But I did that because remember I said on the one where sometimes they have these weird lines for postage. They have it on the edge and they just barely go into the dark water, but it is on the front. So this one is $2 for the moonlight sailing, and it's letter D. $2 letter D. That is a nice one. I like how like they've colored it in so nicely because they've really gotten the moonlight on the water. They've really gotten that nice ripple effect on there, which is awesome. So, well, Linda. Linda likes the ocean water. Ah, Celeste with an S. Hi, Celeste. Yes, you have. It's been a while. So now I have my only Pennsylvania card. This is a tinted I think this is a painting. I don't think it's a tinted print photo. It's sunrise in Pennsylvania looking down the road. The pretty little card. This is another one. I've had it on my bookcase for a while, and I've decided to pass this one along. And it says, if you've never seen the sunrise in the mountains of Pennsylvania, take a tip and make sure that you experience this inspiring sight sometime this summer. So it's genuine CureTech Chicago CT Art Color Tone card. So, but that is a really nice image. And this is $3. It's a linen card. It's in great shape. Even the corners are still squared on this one. A lot of the old ones, just from usually bouncing around in a drawer or a box somewhere, a lot of times the corners are slightly rounded, but this one is nice and squared off. This is $3. This is letter L. $3, letter L for Sunrise in Pennsylvania. And the next one I have, we're moving to New Orleans, Louisiana. I got bit by a fly right at the, like, not in the ear, but like right at the edge right there. And it's bothering me. So this is De La Ronde Oaks, Versailles Plantation near New Orleans. Under these gigantic oaks. Now, I thought that was wisteria at first, and then when I read the back, I realized that's all Spanish moss growing down on that. So Apparently, under these gigantic oaks, General Jackson's men camped December 23rd, 1814. Here, de Lerond, then colonel, planned the Battle of New Orleans, fought nearby on January 8th, 1815. This is the only large group of old live oaks in the world, 79 trees planted in 1783 by Major General Pierre Denis de Lerond, scion of French nobility and distinguished in military activities. So it's an unused card. So, and it is linen, but I'll tell you something, it is the later linen. So this card could be from the early 1950s. Let me take one of the old linens. So the older linen cards, where is it? Okay, where's the birds? The birds I know are older. So the older linen cards, when you get them, you can actually feel like there's texture there. And sometimes you'll see actually come across a linen card where you might feel or see, this one's got one. So on this one, I can see a line right here in the light, and it's where one thread is just a bit thicker than the others. But they got to the point where they refined that because they still were making linen cards in just barely into the early 50s. And they are much smoother. You don't really feel like you can tell there's a texture on those other ones. This, you can see it, but you literally can see the crisscross lines, and they're very fine. And there's also, they've put a little bit of a shine on these, like not a heavy gloss like it would be for a photograph, but there's definitely some bit of a gloss to these. So this is one that's probably from the early 1950s. But that is still very pretty. That's a lot of oaks. It looks like a hand tinted photo. And the grayish pink, that's all Spanish moss. And yes, it does grow long like that. It definitely does. So the Versailles Plantation Drive, which is what this is, it's the entrance to the plantation with all those oaks. This is $3 and is letter X. $3, letter X. So, and the fun part is, I mean, if nothing else, you're seeing some really cool postcards of things you may not get to see. I mean, Michael went on the trip that went up to see Niagara Falls. I wasn't on that trip, so he's seen them. I never have. I've been to Florida, but some of the postcards I have for Florida, they weren't the air. I was in the Florida Keys. That's all I've seen. That, and I've seen Disney World. And Epcot was so new when I was in Disney. It only had like 6 or 7 countries. If we had been there another day later, and my family that took me as my graduation from high school present wouldn't come back the next day because they were going to have all the festivities for opening up of the pavilion for Spain in Epcot, which could have been really cool. Now this one is a lithograph, and it's just a straight up lithograph. It's not a linen card. This is Sunset in Tropical Florida. Look at that sunset and those trees. That is gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous. Now it's hard to see, but there is a person right there. But that's just a gorgeous sunset. And this is a $3 card, and it is letter A. $3, letter A. But that's a beauty. Now, I should look these up because I don't know what kind of tree this is. Poinciana? A royal poinciana trees in bloom, Florida. It's spelled Poinciana. But now there's a building behind it with a very long porch. But this is a whole street of them. Isn't that cool looking? Now on the back, there's no stamp, but there's the residue where there had been one. It says Palm Beach, Florida, having a fine time. And that's doesn't have much written there. But that is an impressive row of trees. So this one, where'd it go? This one is $2. You can't really see them, but there's three very faint, they don't show on the back, but there's three faint crease lines here. So this one is just $2 for the trees. And it is letter P. Letter P for Palm Beach. Still, that actually would make a nice background if you had like little figures you could put in front of it. That would be cute. Now, this is another Florida one. Now, this says it's a driveway. This one is not used. It's clean and blank on the back. This is the moss-covered driveway. It's a lithograph of a photo. And that photo looks like there might have been a little help with some of the coloring. It had to have been taken in what would be spring there because the Spanish moss is kind of green. It hasn't turned color yet. But that is, I don't know what kind of tree that is reaching over like that. But it's not a bad view. This one is the moss-covered driveway between Daytona and New Smyrna, Florida. Oh, so that's the road? Back in the day when the road was still dirt. Early Florida. So this is $3 and this is M. M for all that moss. Yeah, because back when it was all still, orange groves, there were very few paved roads. That's why Disney could get land so cheap down there. He got Disney World actually was like put in an area that was kind of swamp. Now, this one is, we're jumping to California now. Coldwater Canyon near San Bernardino, California. Now, I found some more modern ones. Apparently, in that canyon, there's all kinds of streams. There's a couple of waterfalls. I only found one other of this particular one, but it shows a small stream just coming through. Nice little woodland scene. What I don't get is like on the back, it says lucky card something, and then has a rubber stamp of an address of Shasta Cascade Card Service PO Box, and says that, but then it says Weed, California. I kid you not. Weed, California. So I don't know if this was, maybe it was maybe that was used as a sample of someone trying to promote their product to get the orders for printing different views. But I had this one. This one was on my bulletin board for a long time. And I had a little fairy sticker that was only about that high, and I had just sat it in front of it. So it looked like there would be a little fairy in the woods. So this one is Coldwater Canyon in California. This is $3, and this is letter S. Now we've got, why are you guys upside down? Now we have another one. This is the coast toward White's Landing, San Pedro, California. So this is the Pacific Ocean coming in. It doesn't say much on the back. Published by California Postcard Company, Los Angeles. That's their logo there. So there's nothing on the back, but that's not a bad picture. I didn't know there were cliffs in California, but you can see like this area right here is a big cliff face. So it's really kind of nice. But that is the coastline toward White's Landing, San Pedro, California. So there is a nice view of the Pacific Ocean. This one is, where is it on my little list here? Why does my note say crease? Where is the crease? It's $2. Where is the... Oh, I feel it. Oh, okay. I couldn't see it. So there's a faint crease line here. So where's my list? Coast towards White's Landing. So it's $2 and it's letter E. It's $2 letter E. I couldn't even see this thing till I got it tilted right to see that little crease that's right there. And we've got 5 more postcards to go. Now this is another linen one. And it's a typical California highway in midwinter. Now, sometimes postcard companies would do a whole series and they'd number them. Now, this one is number 560. So they must have done a whole series in California. It says sunshine, fruits, flowers, and snow. But they don't tell me what mountains those are. Western Publishing and Novelty Company. That's who printed it. With CT art color tone, but it is a linen card. But you've got your flowers, you've got your trees, and then now I know there are views like this because my oldest brother and his wife, my sister-in-law still lives there in Upland, California, and they literally have snow-covered mountains at the other end of town, and you can look right down the main street of town and get that same kind of view where the mountains are right there at the end. So it's a lovely little card. This one is there it is, California Highway. This is $3. This is letter R. Now, I have 4 cards. These are the ones from 1960. 2 of them actually have it written on the back that says 1960. This is Crater Lake. It says within Wizard Island is a deep volcanic crater more than 1,000 feet in circumference. Towering, vari-colored cliffs contrast with the deep blue of the lake. And it says Keep, July 12th, 1960. So that's a nice view of the island there that's in the middle of the crater lake. You got this nice tree here. This one And Crater Lake is Oregon, I think. But this one is $3, and this is letter K for this one. Now, this one also is Crater Lake, Oregon. Towering cliffs of volcanic rock furnish a majestic background for the Phantom Ship and Wizard Island in beautiful Crater Lake. And this one also says July 12th, 1960. I don't know what the Phantom Ship is, but that's another nice view of the lake. I'm trying to not have the glare of my laptop. But so when I have cards that have the date written like that, these are the ones from my Aunt Harriet, because I had inherited that collection. Ooh, that was a massive collection. They were trying to go to all 50 states. I think she finally gave me that, and I think I was about 25, so 30 years ago almost. And I still have some of those cards around. So this one with the trees is $3, and this one is letter Q. Now, those have square corners. These next two are photographs. They have rounded corners. They also have comments written on them. Now, these are ones that came with stuff I had bought. We miss our weekend trips to Crater Lake. It's too far from here. So he took up the whole back. But, you could always use this for junk journaling. Now, this is the same island that's in the other image, but you've got this dead tree to the side. So I was trying to figure out, because the island itself looks almost identical, but I can see, so like here's the first one, and then here's the other one. So you can't see what's the other one, you can see what's here. See, you can see all of that. So I don't know what the angle is or how many years. I don't think this is the tree. I don't think that's the tree that is, because this is two together. But that one is Crater Lake with the dead tree. And this one is $3 and letter V, because you got a nice V here. And then the last one is, we took pictures and movies from this point. This is Mount Hood and Mount Hood Highway. Mount Hood that's not Oregon. Mount Hood the state of Washington? Isn't Mount Hood in Washington? But there is a really nice view of Mount Hood, and the clouds around it with the highway there. I would say that these were also probably printed in the 60s, maybe the 70s. 70s at the latest. But that is $3 letter N. $3 letter N for the Mount Hood one. And I need to turn into a pumpkin in 20 minutes. So I hope you guys enjoyed that. Nora, what animation did you find on Netflix? So they are some great cards, and there's plenty to choose from. If you saw any that you were still interested in, just send me an email. My email address is right there, or put it in as a comment if you're somebody who's bought from me before and you're sure I have your info. I know Mike and I saw Nora. Mike and I saw well, something K-pop, an animated one. Yes, K-pop Demon Hunters. Man, that was good. They honestly, that could have been a theatrical release. That was that good. We really liked that one. I haven't seen an anime kind of animated movie come along like that in a long time. It really was good. And the music was really, really good. So I'm sorry, CDC. I need to be in bed and asleep by midnight because I do have to get up early. I mean, my alarm goes off at the first alarm goes off at 6 because I have to let the chickens out of their coop. And if nothing else, those roosters start. The roosters start about 5:30 in the morning, and I've gotten to the point where I can. Oh, I'm sorry. I can oversleep and not oversleep. I can ignore them and sleep, but I can't ignore the alarm. When that second alarm goes, I have to get up and go. I have to let them out. So, so I hope you enjoyed the cards. I thought it'd be something different and something small. What's the matter, Nutmeg? I'm being talked to. She might need her diaper changed. Yes, I do have a cat here with a diaper, but she is 22 years old. So she has a few issues. She's a sweetheart and she really likes me. Though she bit me the other day, I got a tiny, tiny little puncture mark. And I don't think you guys can even see it, but there's a tiny little puncture mark right there. I was asleep. I just kind of woke up and put my arm out and I felt fur next to me. Not even thinking. I went and scooped her in and then well, I did on this side. I scooped her in, figuring I don't know. In my brain, I probably thought it was Elrond because Elrond will curl up in my arm and sleep. And next thing I know, I got bit. Not hard. She does give these little nips, but she actually broke the skin on this one. So I had to get up and treat it with hydrogen peroxide and then make sure that it was all cleaned out real well. And so, so I was kind of awake for that. But yeah, tonight is a bit of a short night simply because I do have to be in I need to be in bed usually by 11:30 and I'm asleep by midnight cuz I start my day at 6 because the animals need to be let out of their coops. So, oh, I miss playing. Oh, I'm sorry. I miss playing Zelda. I used to play well we had the Seasons and Ocarina of Time as a Game Boy Advance game. They're in the house somewhere. I wouldn't let Michael sell them. And he really wants me to sell the apparently the Game Boy Advance Pokemon games. Some of them are worth like a couple of hundred. I don't even know where two of them are. I don't know where the others are. So he wants me to sell them, but I want to make sure they work first. Because if you send them out and sell them and they don't work, well, then I'm not going to have anything mess up my eBay account. That's just not going to happen. So I hope you guys had a good time. I certainly did. And next week I will be home. So I'll be able to do a live on Thursday night next week. But the following week is Boy Scout summer camp. And I don't know what to expect for that. I've not been to this camp. I don't know what they've got for Wi-Fi. Some camps turn the Wi-Fi off at 10 o'clock at night. Some of them turn it off at 9 o'clock at night because it's nights out, but then lights out at 9. So yeah, no. But most of them they leave it on for the adults. But I've only run into one camp that turned it off at 9. I mean, lights out is like they expect you to be back at your campsite by 9, and lights out is always at 10 because you're starting your day early, and those kids are moving constantly and swimming and doing all kinds of stuff. So most of them are ready for be in bed by 10, even the teenagers, because they've done so much during the day. So I will. Uh-oh. I'm sorry. Farm life. So I will see you all next Thursday. Mike's picking me up on Saturday morning, and the first thing I want to do is see my cats and then probably take a nap in my own bed. Ah. And then I'll get started on whatever I come home to. Michael swears I'm not going to come home to a sink full of dishes. We'll see. We'll see. And Gary must not be jinxing myself here. Must not be too bored because he's only called me twice while I've been out here. Both times were days when Mike wasn't home and it was rainy and miserable. And so then he didn't want to go out, so he was bored. So, so I did hear from him. So I hope you all had a good time with this, and I will see you next week. I don't have a video to post for Sunday. And I honestly don't know that I'll have a chance to get anything filmed when I get home on Saturday. Because Saturday, I'm literally going to go home, and now she's letting me use the laundry here, which is great. But I use the tub that I use for summer camp packing. So when I get home on Saturday, I'm going to empty it out and then refill it and pack for summer camp. That's the plan for Saturday. Just get it all squared away for summer camp, because then I don't have to worry about it all week. And I'm getting my knee checked out right away on Monday, and probably getting a shot in my knee so that I can survive summer camp. But I'm going to see if I can get an appointment in again for later that same week and get shots in my spine because I need them. So I stop having cramps in the thigh muscles, because that's what it pinches. That's the nerves in the spine that are pinched. So, yes, Freya, I know you want to go out. Yes. So it's time for me to let the dog out for the last time. Athena's already asleep. The big one, the big baby. The big baby wants to go. I can't show you on camera. You're not my baby. Yeah, you're not my baby. I show my babies, but you're somebody else's baby. So I'm not going to get in the way either when they come home. You're going to be going bonkers. So have a good night, everybody. And I'll see you next Thursday for a chat. Bye.